We live in an era of constant noise. A world where every lunch is photographed, every workout posted, and every minor victory announced like a royal proclamation. Social media has turned life into one giant talent show where strangers judge silently, double tap if amused, and scroll past if bored. Everyone is busy performing. Everyone wants applause. But imagine stepping off that stage. Imagine winning while no one's watching, building something powerful while the world thinks you're standing still. That is the path of the quiet achiever. The path the Stoics would approve of with a knowing smile. Long ago, there were two warriors. One strutted about before battle, sword raised high, boasting of victories yet to come. He gathered a crowd, fed on their cheers, felt powerful in their eyes. The other sharpened his blade quietly. No noise, no speeches, just focus. When the dust settled, guess which one still stood? The loud one spent his strength performing, the quiet one saved it for the fight. The lesson hasn't aged a day. Noise doesn't win wars. Focus does. The Stoics, those ancient masters of calm, knew this truth deeply. To them, strength was never about public approval. It was about control over your own mind. They would shake their heads at how we now broadcast every dream before it's even real, how we turn our plans into content for likes and comments. They would remind us that the moment we hand our ambitions to an audience, we risk losing them. Think about the last time you shared a big goal. Maybe you told friends you were going to start a business, run a marathon, or write a book. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. Some cheered you on, but some raised doubts. Are you sure that's smart? Isn't that risky? Even well-meaning advice started to cloud your vision. Some smiled while secretly hoping you'd fail, not because they're evil, but because your ambition reminded them of their own stalled dreams. The Stoics would say, you've just surrendered part of your power to their voices. There's a sneaky psychological trick happening here too. When you talk about a goal, you get a small rush of pride, a little dopamine hit when someone says, "Wow, that's impressive." That tiny high can be enough to satisfy your brain and make you lose momentum before you've done any real work. It's like celebrating at the starting line because the crowd clapped when you showed up. The true victory only comes at the finish. Winning quietly isn't about living like a spy who avoids eye contact. It's about protecting your focus. The less you broadcast, the less interference you invite. When nobody knows your timeline, nobody pressures you with, "So how's that project going?" You move at your own speed, fast when inspiration strikes, slow when you're refining. You're free to change direction without having to justify yourself to an imaginary audience. In today's age of constant updates, this silence feels almost rebellious. Everyone is busy creating a highlight reel. The quiet ones are just building. While others scramble to appear successful, you quietly become successful. Privacy is not fear. Privacy is strategy. Think of your dream as a seed. You don't dig it up every day to show the neighbors. You keep it buried, safe from pests and storms, letting its roots grow strong. Only when it's unshakable do you show the tree. The same goes for your work. Announce too soon and you invite opinions, judgment, or even sabotage. Sometimes subtle, sometimes direct. Not everyone wants you to win. Some will discourage you under the disguise of realism. Some will compete with you prematurely. Some will feel threatened. But when you move quietly, you stay unpredictable. People can't throw stones at what they can't see. You avoid premature criticism. You stay free to experiment, pivot, fail in peace, and learn without the spotlight. There's another benefit. Silence kills ego. The urge to impress is powerful and fragile. When you crave applause, you start performing for it. You measure your worth by likes, compliments, and attention. The moment it fades, your motivation collapses. But when you work only to impress yourself, you become unstoppable. Your fuel is internal. You stop asking, "Do they think I'm good enough?" and start asking, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" This shift changes everything. Your wins stop being about approval. They become about growth. Your failures stop being embarrassing. They become lessons. You stop chasing the crowd and start chasing mastery. And strangely, this makes you calmer, happier, and more focused. You don't need to prove yourself. You're too busy improving yourself. Sure, it's nice when people clap for you. But here's the hard truth. People are busy with their own lives. Your achievements might excite them for 5 minutes, but then they'll scroll back to their own worries. Some will envy, some will compare, some will forget entirely. Building your confidence on their approval is like building a house on sand, but building it on discipline, skill, and persistence, that's solid rock. Look at history's great achievers, inventors, artists, athletes, entrepreneurs. Most didn't live stream their grind. They spent years in the shadows, failing, refining, mastering. Then one day the world woke up and said, "Where did this genius come from?" The answer: from silence. Humility, it turns out, is magnetic. People who don't brag every 5 minutes give off a quiet confidence that commands respect. The loudest person in the room might get attention, but the silent one with undeniable results gets admiration. True power doesn't need a megaphone. It's felt without explanation. And here's the unexpected bonus. When you stop broadcasting every win, you naturally filter your circle. People who only hang around for the show disappear. People who value substance over spectacle remain. Your relationships become smaller but deeper. You start surrounding yourself with those who respect real work, not just shiny updates. Of course, this path isn't easy. Silence requires self-control, especially in a world built to tempt you into sharing. We love instant gratification. It's hard to keep working when no one's clapping. It's tough to stay patient when everyone else is posting big announcements. But every time you resist the urge to brag prematurely, every time you choose long-term mastery over short-term likes, you're strengthening your mind. Self-control is like a muscle. You grow it by saying no. No to distraction. No to the easy dopamine of showing off too soon. No to quitting when progress feels slow. You learn to delay gratification, to grind without applause, to stay adaptable when plans change. While others panic at setbacks or get lost in comparison, you remain steady. Your ego will fight back. It will whisper, "Show them, prove them wrong, post this success so they know you're winning." But that's just a trap disguised as motivation. Proving others wrong is still letting them control your story. The real flex is proving yourself right. Doing the work not because anyone doubted you, but because you promised yourself you would. You'll know you're winning this battle when you no longer feel the urge to explain yourself. When you're okay with being underestimated. When you're content to let people gossip while you quietly outgrow their expectations. When your results become your only answer. Loud, undeniable, and requiring no defense. The most beautiful part? Quiet success lasts. While others burn out chasing attention, you're building something steady. While they pivot to stay interesting, you're mastering your craft. While they post about every small step, you're taking real steps forward. True mastery takes time. It's a slow burn, not a flashy spark. But slow burns build heat that lasts. One day, your work will be so good it can't be ignored. People will wonder where you came from. They'll ask, How did you do it? And you won't need to explain. Your results will speak fluently on your behalf. Imagine the peace of that. No scrambling to maintain appearances, no fear of failing publicly because no one's keeping score but you, no addiction to praise. Just pure focus, deep skill, and the quiet satisfaction of knowing you're better today than you were yesterday. That's real freedom. So live your story differently. Let them wonder. Build in silence. Surprise the doubters, confuse the gossipers, and free yourself from the exhausting need to perform. Keep learning, keep evolving, keep going. Not for likes, but for the person you're becoming. Let the work itself become your loudest statement. Because here's the secret. The world will notice eventually. But by the time it does, it won't matter. You didn't do it for them. You did it for you. And that kind of success, the quiet, unshakable kind, is the only kind that truly lasts. And that's it. The power of winning in silence. If this video made you rethink the way you chase success, then you're already one step ahead of the noise. Remember, you don't need to broadcast every move. Let your work speak when it's ready, and let your growth stay yours until it's undeniable. If you enjoyed this video and want more inspiring stories that help you stay focused, disciplined, and unstoppable, hit that like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Now go out there, keep building in silence, and let the world wonder what you're up to.